My name is Martina Möllering. I'm Professor in International Studies and the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts. A very warm welcome to the Faculty of Arts. I would like to thank you for your interest in studying with us here at Macquarie, and you have certainly chosen the right time to be joining us. We have just opened our wonderful new arts precinct, which will be your home in the university and where you will be meeting your fellow students and your teachers. We offer a wide variety of courses, all designed to foster your passion and to teach you how to develop the necessary skills to turn it into a profession. Please enjoy the presentation to follow and do not hesitate to contact us should you have any questions.
Hi, my name's Professor Julian Knowles. I'm a professor within the music area here at Macquarie, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Bachelor of Music program that we run at Macquarie. So the Bachelor of Music is a music degree for the 21st century. We really tried hard to make a music degree that's relevant to what's happening now and what's likely to be happening into the future. So that means that we offer a really contemporary blend of music literacies, which are both traditional but also digital. We offer performance opportunities and also very deep production opportunities as well. So there are opportunities for solo and group-based performances, songwriting, and also creative music production. When you do this degree, you'll develop music skills reflecting a range of industry practices. You'll have access to world-class facilities, performance spaces and rehearsal spaces, recording studios and production labs. You'll have the opportunity to undertake an industry internship. You'll be able to learn from experienced industry professionals, and you'll have the option to undertake electives either in other areas within related arts areas like media or screen or radio, but also beyond the department into the rest of the university if you'd like to. So within our Bachelor of Music itself, we have a number of specialised study areas that you'll do, and you can do a blend of these or you can get depth in either of these. So you'll do songwriting, you can do vocal and group-based performance, you can do recording studio-based music production, you can do electronic dance music production and DJ performance, musical theatre, world music, and we also have a stream in music industry studies and an industry internship. So it's really an industry relevant degree, and also it's really important to mark out here that you'll also be taught by experienced industry professionals. So most of us who are teaching in this program have significant involvements with industry, and we're active within the industry as professionals. So let's just talk a little bit about the internships for a moment. Students can undertake an internship as part of their program, so this puts them into the industry for real-world experience. So examples include things like working for a record label, working for a touring or management company, music festivals, working in a recording studio, and then broader areas like working in performance rights collection agencies or in music publishers. So students are able to undertake international placements as well, subject to any travel restrictions that are in place. But the aim is to extend your professional connections through these internships and in your degree beyond Macquarie and into the industry. So let's talk about songwriting for a moment. So in this area, you'll learn about song structures and songwriting techniques. You'll also analyse classic songs from popular music history. Students will be supported to write and record your own original material. And then we also offer a visiting artists program which features really well-known songwriters. So in the past we've had people like Josh Pike, Georgia Mooney, Amber Lawrence, Martha Marlowe and Larissa McKay. So these are really top professionals in the field. We also have a stream of industry guests from APRA AMCOS, which is our rights collection agency, and a range of other relevant areas such as music publishers. So let's talk about vocal studies for a moment. So in this area, we're really trying to develop distinctive artists, distinctive singers. And so it's a stream of 3 specialist units in vocal performance, and it's taught also by a team of experienced professionals. So the stream not only develops our technical ability, but also the distinctive voice of each performer. Students perform in solo and group contexts and have performance showcases. So as a music degree for the 21st century, all singers also engaged with studio-based recording and live performance technologies in recognition of how central these things are now to contemporary practice. In live performance, singers also work with amplified systems and also digital effects. So in music production at Macquarie, we're really fortunate that we have an incredible world-class facility. It is without doubt one of the best in the sector. So students undertake a stream of units where they learn standard digital audio software like Pro Tools or Ableton Live. They learn EDM, production, rock, pop, indie or acoustic genres, and all of these approaches are covered in a blended mix. So the world-class facilities include a world-class suite of recording studios and a specialist production lab for software teaching. Students get hands-on experience in studios, learning production techniques including full band recording, mixing and also mastering. Specialised interactive electronic music and sound design workshops are also included to kind of represent that emerging area. Likewise, you're taught by active industry professionals in this area, both on staff but also with visiting professionals coming in. So the music degree also has a strong project component, and in the final year of the course we actually have a unit in which all of our students conduct major music projects. So students produce and perform independent creative works using the department's state-of-the-art performance facilities and recording facilities. Students are supported by industry experts alongside academic staff. At the end of this process, students also create a portfolio of their performance and creative work which can be used to promote themselves following graduation. So at Macquarie, what we're doing here is we are developing tomorrow's music professionals. We produce highly employable graduates with a broad and adaptable suite of skills that allow them to be valuable to employees in existing businesses, but also importantly, to be competent creative entrepreneurs who have the required skills to create new opportunities, resource projects and engage audiences. Alongside our Bachelor of Music, I should also mention that we have a music major, Music Studies, within our Bachelor of Arts program. So this is really suited to people who also want to take other areas of study alongside music in a very flexible way. So it's a terrific option for those people who may have more than one interest or may wish to pursue another area with some depth alongside their studies in music. So in terms of our entry requirements, we do operate a selection rank of 75, but this is a guide only and it can shift around a little bit from year to year. It's important also to understand that we have an audition entry pathway as well. So you're perfectly welcome to audition for us and have that as a means for entry as well as the selection rank, but it's not required. The alternative entry pathway can also be used by people who, for whatever reason, don't hold a selection rank, or they may have been out of study for some time and come to us from a wide variety of different backgrounds. So it's a very open admissions process. To cap it off, at Macquarie we operate a very contemporary program that gives you industry-ready skills in contemporary music production, vocals, songwriting, musical creativity, performance and the music business. You'll be learning from leading music academics and industry professionals, and you'll be working in state-of-the-art facilities. And we will prepare you for a successful career in the music industries.
We're going to continue our conversation with the Professor. My name's Adam. I'm in my 6th year at Macquarie University studying a double degree of Law and Media. So Professor, what makes the Bachelor of Music unique in Macquarie?
It's a really good question. We've put a lot of time into thinking about what makes for the most relevant music degree you could offer at this moment in time. So what makes it unique is that it offers this blend of production and performance and songwriting. So it's very focused on the contemporary music industry. It's not a conservatoire model, so the traditional 19th century pedagogy. It's very much moving on from that and looking towards what the industry needs right now. The other thing that's unique about it is that we operate within a broader department of media, communications and cultural studies. So in the same building we have screen production, we have performance, we have a radio station and radio studies. So that's really quite unique in its own way, because students are in one building able to access all of these different discipline areas. And a lot of people are interested in things outside just the straight music degree.
Thank you for that. And what are your particular strengths at Macquarie?
So I think it's fair to say that we operate one of the most impressive facilities in the country. We have dedicated recording studio spaces that are acoustically designed and have world-class equipment within them. We've got a few of those. We have very sophisticated performance spaces that are not just spaces in themselves, but they have very sophisticated lighting systems and production equipment in them. We also have extensive rehearsal facilities, and all of this of course connects to those related areas that I spoke about in the last question of, students can do a live to air performance to radio, for example, because we actually have a radio station in the building. So the facilities are really second to none, and we've invested a huge amount of money in developing those. And we also have a technology partnership with Avid, which is the main software company that produces Pro Tools, which is an industry standard music production platform now. So that relationship with Avid gives us the ability to have everything completely up to date with exactly what's happening right now across all of their technologies.
And are students able to access those facilities? And if so, how are they able to access those facilities?
Yeah, we want the students to be on the facilities as much as they can. One of the best ways to learn production is to actually be doing it. So our building is open to the students to use. They all have bookable studio time if they want to go and do a recording. If they're enrolled in the music production stream, they can all just freely book time to record. There are lots of small spaces where they can come in, and just single user spaces where they can advance their work. It's the same with the performance facilities and the rehearsal rooms. They're open around the clock with the building, and students can actually just book those spaces as they like. So there's a very, very good system of access to facilities.
Cool. And does a student need to have studied music to enrol in this degree at all?
Yeah, this is something that we thought pretty hard about. And I am a great believer in the idea of just taking people who are incredibly musical. That's the main focus. Whether they have a background in formal music study and they've studied music theory, whether or not they can read music or not, to my mind, that is less important than their basic musical ability. So we can take students who don't have any of that traditional music theory background, and they may not have even had formal music lessons. They may be self-taught, or they may be working on music production. They may actually be making music on computers, for example. So we operate a very broad church with that. We're just looking for people who are musical, and we're happy to take people in from a huge variety of backgrounds. And I personally think that makes it a lot more interesting.
Okay, and how do you teach music at Macquarie?
So music is taught by a combination of methods. So we have traditional face-to-face, where you might do lectures, tutorials, or you might be in labs doing software work, or you might be in performance spaces. So there's that traditional face-to-face mode. But we also operate intensives, so for projects, so where you work in a sustained way for a few days within a sort of a project-based structure. Every single unit that we offer has a website, and we also have high-quality online materials, and we can also teach in online mode as well. So it's important to understand that we're making use of all of those different modes of delivery, and the emphasis is on being flexible and adaptable. So if you attend a lecture, within 5 minutes of the lecture finishing, you can watch an online stream. So there are lots of different ways that you can engage with our teaching.
And finally, how does a degree prepare people for employment?
I think what we're aiming to do is to make students adaptable with a really broad skill set. I think in all of the creative industries, we know that it's a rapidly growing area, and we know that it's undergoing significant digital transformation. And that means that there are lots of opportunities coming up, but also lots of change. And so the students, or the graduates I should say, who do well in those environments are those ones who are really good at adapting to new situations, and they actually have a broad set of skills that they can deploy. So, you know, if you're studying vocal performance, but you also have production skills, that's a great plus. Okay, and it's also, if you have a good knowledge of the way the music industry works, that prepares you for jobs that might not actually be performance or production roles, but be in allied roles. You know, you could work for a music management company or a major music festival. So we're trying to give students a broad skill set, and when you've got that really broad skill set, that makes you really competitive.
Thank you so much for your time, Professor. We're now going to cross live to our Q&A. And are you able to tell me a bit about the teachers you have in your degree?
Sure. So we've got a really great lineup of people across a range of different areas of music who are all practicing industry professionals. So, you know, we've got people like Andrew Robson, who's one of Australia's most well-known jazz musicians. We've got people like Di Hughes, who's one of Australia's best-known vocal coaches and vocal teachers, leading up the vocal program. I'm working as a music producer, and also in the popular music field, and also in the media fields. We've got Mary Mainsbridge, who's an electronic music artist. So most of the staff that you find who will teach you, particularly in the practice-based units, in the production-based units, will all have a very strong industry practice alongside their academic work.
And to some degree, that might be slightly intimidating for people who don't have any experience in music coming into the degree. Do they actually need any prior experience to do the Bachelor of Music?
Yeah, I mean, this is another sort of philosophy that we have, is that we operate a really broad church at Macquarie. We are not requiring people to have had, you know, classical music training. They don't have to necessarily have done music at high school, because we recognise that a lot of students haven't even had that opportunity. But they may actually be just really passionate about music. They may be doing things, you know, at home on their own. They may have a computer, they may have a set of turntables, they may be DJing, they may be doing any of those things. And so we're really happy to look at everybody and accept everyone, and that's why we have made it as an ATAR based or a selection rank entry with an option or alternative pathway of audition. So if for whatever reason you don't have the selection rank that you need, but you still feel that you've got something that you can offer, then there's an alternative entry pathway. So we've kept it as open as we can, and students don't need to have that background, and so we're not assuming that they do. So in things like music theory, for example, we're not assuming that everybody's had music theory prior to coming to us, because you may have been, as I said, making music on computers, and you may actually be making it at a high level, but you've never studied music theory formally in any way. So we're happy to take students like that, and we adapt the course and the teaching to allow for people finding their level within that kind of whole field of you know, prior experience or less prior experience.
And are you able to actually pair the Bachelor of Music with other areas in media, such as radio broadcasting?
Yeah, so most of you may know we have a radio station in our building, 2SER, and we also have a radio specialisation within the media program. Students who are in the Bachelor of Music can access studies in radio through the elective streams within their degree, but also Macquarie itself offers very flexible double degrees. So people can actually do, well, you're doing one yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
So people can actually do full double degrees if they want to, and the university's worked very hard to make the pathway possible so you can combine two bachelors together. Mm-hmm. So if people were really wanting to get super depth in both of those areas, they could do that through a double degree. Or if it was more, you know, hey, I want to do a Bachelor of Music, but I'm really interested in doing some radio as part of that, well, then that's no problem. You could do that through the elective stream.
And personally, I like to do a double degree because, you know, I was really interested in law, but at the same time, I loved having media as an outlet, and I loved having a creative outlet. Yeah. And it wasn't so much for going into practice. It was really just to have an outlet to complement law and to get me through my law degree at the same time. So I think that's also a valuable thing to take away in terms of doing a double degree. Yeah. Another live question that we have coming through, do you have any experience in music recording, sorry? And if so, could you facilitate that for a prospective student?
Yeah. I've been recording and producing professional recordings almost all my adult life. And I just finished recording an album which was released 2 weeks ago on an American label called Shelf Life Records. So I'm in a band called Even As We Speak, so that's on Spotify. You can check it out. There's a little plug there. The album is called Adelphi. So, as I was saying, all of us who are teaching in these areas have an active practice. And so I teach personally I teach the higher level music production units in that specialisation, and we have an incredible set of recording facilities that we've worked very hard on in the last 5 to 10 years. It's state of the art, without a doubt, some of the best facilities in Australia, if not it's in the world. It's quite significant. So students who have a real interest in music production and in making music in studios and recorded music can find a really strong pathway through our music production specialisation that takes people right the way through to third year and to operating at the highest level in a fully professional level recording studio.
Thank you. And this will probably be the last question that we have time for, but does this degree help with self-promotion or setting up your own business post your degree?
Absolutely. So we have dedicated subjects like music business that are core to the program, and so the idea is that every student understands the field and the industry in some detail. And this is kind of important because when people do a music degree, they often aren't fully sure about what the career opportunities are when they graduate. Most people know, there's an education pathway. Some people become music teachers, and then other people, people then also think about being on stage or being a performer or a songwriter. But actually, there are a huge number of different career pathways, if not more career pathways outside of those what you might call traditional roles that most people would understand. And so learning how the music business works opens people up to what all of these jobs are, streaming companies, live event companies, music publishers, music rights organisations. There's a huge number of the music industry is actually really big and it has many different moving parts. And so one of the things that the degree is really good for, it's an undergraduate degree, is to opening your eyes to what all of those career pathways might be. And of course, we deal a lot with things like contemporary modes of audience engagement. So, we're looking very closely at things like social media and how artists build followings on social media. I mean, that sort of responds to that idea of the music degree for the 21st century. That's really very much part of it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Professor Knowles. It's been very, very valuable. If you'd like to ask some more questions, you definitely can still use our live chat. Someone will get back to you. Feel free to check out our other areas of study as well as Studio Central. Take part in some of our competitions on the webpage. I'm sure they'll be a lot of fun. But for now, we're going to wrap up here. We'll see you next at 12 o'clock for our presentation on culture, communication and society. So hopefully I'll see you then. Thank you so much.